I'm Peter. I'm the director here. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Hi, Samar. It's so good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You guys must
We
be
made it.
exhausted.
I don't know, they're exhausted, but
All right. Yeah.
we are. I don't think we slept last night at all. We had to pick this up, and then we had to go get that, then we had to go to the theater, then we had to load it, then we had to
Yeah, you're good.
then we had to get here.
Well, we're all very, very excited about you being here. It's going to be
are
great.
too,
And
yeah.
you made like amazing time, like on the wings of angels. Welcome, you guys.
Like, get me out of the van.
Band warriors. Where are the bathrooms?
This is Kayla.
Hi, Kayla, Wendy. Hi.
Joe Harry. Hi now.
There we go.
Come on in. Let's feed you guys. I'm Wendy Garfield from United Neighbors. I think most of you know who I am. And I'm delighted that you could be here tonight to our learning part of the Piece by Piece 2-day summit. So we are delighted to have Truthworker Theater. They've been in their van from Brooklyn for 7 hours. So give them a little time to sort of breathe. So tomorrow they'll be doing the full performance of In Prism, and if you're not signed up to come tomorrow, we still have space, so please let me know, and there's room for your kids as well. And tonight they're going to do a little segment from it, and then we'll have an opportunity to do some discussion with cast members and with Samara Gabe, the director, the inventor, the producer, the everything of Truthworker Theater, using creative arts as one of the tools we have in our anti-violence chest of things. So we'll see where we get from, and I'll turn it over to Samara.
Hey everyone, how are you feeling? Good. Thank you so much for inviting us and welcoming us and waiting for us. You have to check out on your way out our trailer with our massive set, which is a handmade jail cell by the company. So we have found our way here, and we're really, really honored to be here. We are going to share just 15 minutes of kind of a mashup of our two productions. So our first production is called Barcode, a performative analysis of the school to prison pipeline. And it's the first work that we created last year, all original work devised by the performers, by the youth ensemble, ranging in ages from 15 to 21 at the time, so now we're 16 to 22. And it came out of, we were dealing with the Trayvon Martin case, the Zimmerman trial, the stop and frisk trials in New York City, and we had a lot of conversations around a lot of the over-policing and criminalization of young, marginalized youth of color, and particularly low-income communities. And so this work really came out of that. And after a full season of performing it and deepening it and developing it and sharing it, the company talked, and we decided, initiated by the young people, that we weren't really done peeling away the layers of the onion with this conversation, and we wanted to go deeper. So the work that we're presenting in full tomorrow is In Prism, Boxed In and Blacked Out in America, and it looks at solitary confinement and capital punishment and the practices and impacts on the body, on the mind, on the spirit, on families and relationships. And this whole piece has been created and developed in collaboration with an innocent man on death row named Jarvis J. Masters. And he is someone who we've been writing with. Alisa and I, my partner in everything, have visited him twice. He calls the company. We have truly made this process with him. And he's been incarcerated 33 years since he was a young person, the same age as them, and spent 22 in solitary for a crime he never committed. So the kids have read both of his books, and what you'll hear in this small little excerpt is, like I said, a combination, a mashup of pieces of Barcode and pieces of In Prism. So not a narrative, but rather a collage that we think gives voice to some of the issues that are really important to us. And hopefully we can hang out afterwards a little bit and talk. And we also brought Jarvis's books, which we sell to benefit the company. This is all grassroots, and Elise and I have been volunteering for 2 years. So we're just so grateful to have been invited here and to be supported in this way. And it means so much to us. So yeah, we look forward to hanging out. And let's make a lot of noise so they know that we're ready for this.
wire and security cameras.
There is no brass struggling through asphalt, only steel bars and stolen strength.
It is easy to be forgotten here. A number in an orange suit, a mistake, a menace. In the shadows of white picket fence dreams, you are a sickness,
A blister,
a bruise, 3/5 of a memory. Embrace your shackles.
become the bars that cage you in, young animal.
For here, the sun will not stretch past barbed wire and security cameras.
New inmate!
Yo, kid, you got bars?
She ain't got no bars. Check me out. I keep wondering why the tears in my eyes keep thundering. Feelings kept inside of my body, it keeps smothering and covering.
Dark clouds keep hovering.
I'm trying to figure out why me, why I be suffering, why the devil gotta pick on me and my family. Bringing us down, locked up, let me be. I'm praying to God, asking him to give me the keys to this cage. Set me free from this locked up dungeon, I'm done and enraged. It was mean so I failed, wind up dead or in jail. Was born a color, not white, and even worse, I'm a male. This is my life, my pain, the destiny I was given. It's not a joke nor fake, this life I'm actually living.
I hope you learn.
A new system we will create.
Because bound by chains and ashes in an urn can be your fate.
Grooming time, ladies!
Yo, let's go.
Man, I'm innocent. I think I killed myself vibe to stay in this prison. I just wish somebody would listen.
Well, I'll listen to you, friend. What do you need?
You're no friend of mine. What the hell do you know?
Well, I know that killing yourself ain't no way to go. And hell, there'd definitely be nobody to listen to you then.
Even if you did listen to me, it's not like it make a difference. You're in here just like me.
You're right. We are both locked up in here. But see, there's a difference between you and I. I'm the master of my own narrative, and I know the legacy that I'm going to leave behind. Do you?
Man, what you talking about legacies? You are crazy.
There's this old proverb. Unless the lion has a historian, the hunter's always the hero.
I don't know what you mean, man. All I know is that they got me locked up in here. Now they're looking at me like I'm crazy. There is no way to stay strong.
Let me finish. The hunter's spear drives into the heart of the lion, to wound its pride. The hunter laughs, but the lion's still alive. The look in his eyes is his will to survive. The lion's breath blows the leaves through the jungle trees. He knocks out and wakes up in a cage on concrete. There is no softness to this new place. There is a stiff stench in the air. Move! The hunter has tied the lion's paws, cut his hair, and even clipped his nails. Before the hunter leaves, he says,
There's only a few of you left to take.
then I can sleep nice at night knowing you'll be locked away. With my belly full and a nice soft bed, I'll cut my lights off with a smile and rest my head. And then the lion replied, as long as I'm in this cage, we're both captive. Our freedom is dead. But if you must keep me here, then go right ahead. Then the night was as silent as could be, as owls and birds sang in the trees. The lion knew he would never feel this same breeze.
This concrete is so cold, so contained, so restricted.
But to know that his family was alive was the reason he risked it. His mother, his brother, his cubs, they all got to be free. The lion realized this gave him the strength that he needed.
Okay, copy. You're coming with me.
So stay strong and stay alive and tell your own story. Don't give the hunter the ultimate satisfaction of reaping his glory.
Sitting in a big white room alone, close the door, don't want the pain to come in. No, 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 no. I clench my fists, I try to stay strong. I cry, feel sick, My heart is beating, but beating out of control. Can I run faster than you? I wanna feel my body again, feel the wind in my hair. But I have to stay in this big wide room, 'cause no one else cares. I'm going crazy, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy in this big white room of mine. I'm going crazy, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy in this big white room of mine. I'm not crazy.
What the hell, man? My mother's not here. She's not here. I'm not crazy. I don't belong here. Dear what? I don't belong here. I'm not crazy. No, I don't belong here.
Shut up!
I'm not
Yo, shut the hell up!
I don't belong here. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you stupid ass guys? Tell me my mother's dead and she's not dead. I don't belong in dear what? I'm not crazy.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. What are we supposed to do? We're stuck in here.
23 hours in the box.
23 hours in the hole.
23 hours on lockdown.
23 hours in the pound.
23 hours locked up in a cage.
I was in prison crazy, but I started to become it by hour 1. By hour 3, I wish I had a gun.
By hour 5, they started to cry.
By hour 6, I sat there so still, I thought I had died. By hour 8, my meal was here, but I couldn't eat. Hour 11, I was voices I hear. Hour 13, I'm safe from the other inmates, but my mind I have to fear. Hour 15, get me out of here! Hour 16, get me out of here! Hour 17, I can't remember how to breathe.
I was 18 to 21. Man, I can't wait to leave.
I was 22 to 23. Lights out, babies. Get some sleep.
Yo, I don't belong in here. Don't talk to me like that.
Alex, not tonight,
Who are you to
man.
tell me what to do?
I'm a human just like you, man.
Alex, just stop it.
You're an animal.
Fuck you.
Fuck me. You know what? This is a gun.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you heard me.
I'm looking at one, and as my nerve heat, I'm surely gonna pull the trigger. My whole life has been a sick mixture. I was the victim, now I can't tell if I'm sicker than the bullies in the 3rd grade all the way to freshman year. I couldn't deal with all the bruises, cuts, and all the tears. One day they jumped me after class in the beat. I was chosen to go straight home, but I never left the heat of the moment. You see, I never had to prove I was tough. Through all these problems, I was never a fighter. I had to sit and solve them. But we live in a world where you're a punk if you don't throw the hands. The night before I went to bed, I made the decision to show these bullies that I'm better than whatever they think is worthy of being a better man. The bully tried to touch me. I squeezed my fist until my knuckles were white. You could say he wasn't lucky. I punched the chest, uppercuts in the jaw, some punch in the nose, the giant falls to the floor. Ever since then, I never took name calling or threats. Better yet, I was becoming when I tied down. I never saw it coming, but I'm running out of time now. This may be the end of my whole life, so I just cry now. Looking in the mirror like, why God, do I die now? Is there a point in living if I'm ruining all these lives now? What's the point in living, God? I think I'm good to die now. What's the point in living, God? I think I'm good to die now.
State your last meal.
And what will you be having?
Corn
Corn on the cob, mashed potatoes with gravy, a T-bone steak. Well done.
I sit, hypnotized by the scent, floating off my plate, staring, awaiting the first bite of my last meal. They say the first bite is the hardest. It's true. And I've been hungry for days. I can't even grip my fork. It's like flipping a switch which engages my death. I can only wait so long until the heat drains from my food that I take my first step towards my last.
God is good. God is great. Thank you for this lovely plate. Amen.
Goosebumps. like shockwaves accompanied by quick shivers down my spine, raise hair, and initiate deep breathing. My skin turns cold along with my food. Every moment is unintentionally captured. There's a red dot blinking on the security camera. And I wonder if the man behind the monitor is even watching me. Does he realize he is one of the last to see me alive? I take note of these irrelevant moments because I don't want to think about what awaits me. The end.
Thank you, God, for this food and the nourishment it has given me. Amen. Check, please.
Hi. Is there anything else I can get you before you leave?
No, I'm just ready to go home.
I'm not ready to go.
It's time to go. May God have mercy on your soul.
I open my palms to the sky, surrendering to the human hopelessness that it does not despair me. For life needs no more despair. I pray to turn a situation as bad as mine into an opportunity to be of some benefit, to transcend my present circumstances, to transform everything around me into something almost radiant.
Boom, 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 banging, constant, robbing, consistent, bang, bang. My mind, I'll lose it, broken pieces, shit. I'm needing silence, kills me, noises scare me, darkness likes me. I don't know me. Can you help me? Hold me, heal me, save me, love me. Please don't leave me. Something sparks inside my mind and everything just dies. Something sparks inside my mind and everything just dies. Who sharpened the knife? Who did it?
Who killed that guard?
Who sharpened the knife?
Who did it? Who killed that guard?
Who sharpened the knife?
Who killed that guard?
Who sharpened
Who did it? Who killed that guard?
Who killed that guard? Who have been sentenced to solitary confinement? Systematic policies and conditions of control and oppression. Used isolation and glue.
Confined behind a soft steel door for 23 hours a day.
Limited contact with another human being.
Encrypted goalposts and banned non-contact family visits. Extremely limited access to rehabilitative and educational programs.
Grossly inadequate medical and mental health treatment.
Physical torture such as
Hard time, restriction,
and forced cell extraction. Mental torture such as sensory deprivation.
permanent bright lighting and extreme temperature.
Forced insomnia, sexual intimidation, and violence.
Who sharpened the knife?
Who did it? Who killed that guard?
Who sharpened the knife?
Who killed that
Who
guard?
sharpened
Who
the knife?
did it? Who killed that guard?
Who did it?
Who killed that guard?
Who killed that guard?
Night's bright stars celebrating life's dreams as peace sits still.
Between textbook and central booking, there is a pipeline.
Where food, the flavor of cardboard, and history, the texture of Columbus,
Is served to children.
preparing students for jumpsuits,
The color of flames.
between teeth and tongue, some of us have wept before bowing as we save our skirts from the mud.
Knowing the storm doesn't help us gather our children's fire.
Between Mexico and the United States,
There is a border.
where a thread of mansions look away, and men in uniform the color of
Deep, angry skies ride the trains with tall stories under their hats.
The rain doesn't care if it's
Bel Air or Brownsville, all people need some form of oxygen.
Can we rediscover our common threads, healing the tears in this collective quilt? Our hands join past borders, our voices rising beyond the clanging of steel bars. We can grow through these boxes and cages, reclaim our humanity, rewrite history's pages, and transform what enrages. Our innermost children, we're each one in a million, not a box to be filled in. Reclaim our humanity, rewrite history's pages,
Reclaim our humanity and transform what enrages.
So, if you guys want to, we're always open for a brief post-sharing, performance, dialogue, conversation, opportunity to they
Why
fit
don't
in
you tell us
everything
who
we
you are and how you got here?
Yeah, we can start there. Kayla, you want to start?
What do you want me to say?
Who are you?
I'm Kayla.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
How long have you been with the company?
2 years?
Almost. I think we're 21 months old as a company.
I am 21 months old.
She's an OG.
And what got you to Truthworker?
Emailing Samara, cause well, actually it wasn't even Samara. It was Samara's intern that told me, and then I had to email Samara because Samara didn't even want to respond to me. I had to work hard to get here.
Kayla was, I was doing a teaching artist residency at a high school in East Harlem, and Kayla was, we met that way. She was one of my students in that program, and had like brilliant, amazing work and capacity and character development. And so, yeah, Emily, who was my intern and also the original cast member, who's now at Pomona College, when we were forming the ensemble, was like, remember Kayla? And yeah, that was really our birth story. So yeah, you guys got the prompts, whatever you want to share, just you can get it done.
My turn?
Your turn.
My name is Zafar. I've been with Truthworker for 21 months. And I know Samara from other programs that she taught me, and she told me she was starting this, and I was like, oh, that's a great opportunity, so I took it.
Zafar came to me in the interview for the first program, and he literally verbatim said, I don't really want to be here, and I really have no interest in yards.
Thank you.
And he, has taken some of the most extraordinary initiative and leadership in the company. So I'll just say, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jahari, and I'm 17. If these people have been here for 21 months, then I've been here for like 19-ish, 19 and a half. I was brought in to assume the role that Emily Carpenter left when she went on to college, and eventually evolved into a place of my own, eventually. So, yeah, happy to be here.
I'm Desi, I'm 18. I've been with the company since day one, June 9, 2013. And I got into Truthworker through a mutual friend. She knew Samara, and I've always wanted to do arts. I never had experience until I joined Truthworker. And I harassed Samara with like essays, begging her to let me do it, even though I had only no experience, I didn't know anything. And then she told me, we met on the first day, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah. My name is Ethan. I've been with the company for 21 months, day one. And I first met Samara when she performed at BAM. My school went to, we went on a trip to go see her. And I had seen her again in my school working with another English class. And I transferred into that class to have her. And I've been writing poetry since the 10th grade, and I have been with her ever since.
My name is Ricky, and I've been working with Samara for 7 years now. It went all the way back to she was working for an organization that I was doing different programs with, and kind of worked my way up the company, and then I actually was under the wing of Samara as her assistant teaching artist. And then when she created Truthworker, she reached out to me, and this is where I landed. And I am 22.
My name is Lil. You can call me Ray for short. I am 19, and I would say working with Truthworker has been like 7 to 9 months working with y'all. And me and Samara worked with each other through BAM Arts and Justice program, and she hit me up and was like, hey, or like to know, would you like to play as the guard? And here I am.
My name is Carnell. I've been with Truthworker for about the same 7 to 9 months now, and I joined Truthworker. The way I got into Truthworker was through like mutual friends. So basically, one day I was at work, and the person that I know that also knows her texted me and said she's looking for someone to fulfill a role of a dancer, an actor, and so on. So I left work. I actually stopped working there. I left work, and then I literally ran because he said that she was in a hurry. I ran there about 10 blocks, and then it all happened. It just boom.
You picked him up on the street.
My name is James. I've been working with Samara for like 3 years. I met her at BAM, and then
BAM is the Brooklyn Academy of Music in New York City.
yeah, and then I joined like 2 months after Truthworker was made to fulfill Richard's part. Yeah, because he went away to college, and yeah, here I am now.
So I just want to say, when they're saying fill parts, it was the original conception of the company. It was kind of a call out. I just decided to start this program, and we had a donated space and no money, no funding or anything. But because of Hurricane Sandy, I lost a big contract to have work as a teaching artist throughout the summer. And instead of at the last, we had like 1 week notice that it was going to get cut. They had to redirect the funding to rebuilding the school. And so in that moment, I said, if I'm not going to make any money this summer, I might as well do what I love. And I had been experiencing a lot of frustration with being given the blessing of running programs and directing theater through different institutions and organizations. And then when it's over, it's over. And it's like funding rolls over as a new program or a rotation of kids. And I was building relationships with all of these incredible artists and storytellers and creators and people. And they would say, like, can we have costumes, or can we do it again, or can we go on tour with it, or can we develop it? And I kind of was forced to say no because of the limitations of my own position. So when they're saying that they came in to fulfill a role, the initial catalyst may have been that someone moved on and we had created a piece together, but all the work that has been forthcoming has been original development. And so Will James may have come in 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago, to fill Richard's shoes in one part. He's written 100,000 other parts. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Hi, again. My name is Leah Muhammad. I'm 17 years old. I got into Truthworker because Odyssey Miller kind of has stepped in for as a dancer. He had told me about Samara and the theater company, and I was like, that's dope. And so he was like, send her an email, make sure it's professional. I was like, of course. So I sent her an email, and I was like, hi Samara. And she said, we're having auditions next Saturday. I auditioned. She said, let's get it. Well, she didn't say that, but in my head, I thought that I was like so excited. And so, been here for like 19 months with Jahari and James as new incomers, and loved it ever since.
And the auditions are a collective process that we put them through. So it's real horizontal leadership with the company. So while I may have conceived of it, and Elisa and I do a lot of the mentorship and visioning and organization of it, if we have anyone new coming in, then it's our collective choice, and everyone gets to say it's a group audition, and then the company really decides, and that's kind of how all of our decisions go about the creative process or the logistical process or anything.
I'm Rebecca. I'm 20, and I joined Truthworker because I knew Samara as a teaching artist and through other programs, and I was tired of doing like shows, the programs, and then it ends, and then we like don't see each other unless a new program starts. So when we got the email that she was starting a data company and it was social justice based, I said, why not? Like, I go to John Jay, I'm in there for criminal justice, so it links. That's it.
I have a question.
Sure.
What is at risk?
Okay, so we say any kid, basically all kids are at risk. We say that any kid that lives in an environment where there is poverty, any kid that lives in a community like ours where poverty is really tremendous and there's lots of lack of opportunities for kids, there's lots of violence, there's lots of gangs, that puts all our youth at risk. So what we try and do is we, very often when schools take kids out, you know, they'll take the valedictorians out for a day. We're not interested in that. We're interested in the normal kids, the everyday kids. And we want to be able to expose them to a variety of different things. So what would you say to us that we should talk to our youth about?
Don't give up on them. Part of what's gotten me here, part of what's gotten us here, part of what's gotten Samara and Alexa here is that we've never given up on each other. And I mean, I'll just say briefly, there have been a couple of people who have given up on what this means, and they're not here right now, you know? There are people in my life who've given up on themselves, not here right now. And it has never been more crucial in my life than to have people not give up on me. And I know what you mean when you say like the everyday kids, what it means to be at risk. I'm not particularly like fond of the term, but it is, I mean, it's pretty accurate. And like once people see that you are letting them go, you're letting the idea of them go, you're letting them go from your life because you lost sight of what purpose they serve, or you don't feel like you're reaching out to them, I promise you, you are touching them in ways that you do not know by being there and being there for them in a way that's open enough to be receptive to the teaching that you were essentially put here to provide, you know? It means a lot to me to know that there are people in my life who, regardless of what's happening with me, are gonna be there, you know? And as I say that a lot, as an educator, as a mentor, as a, just an outlet, like you might not even know these kids personally, but just to say, like to walk into a space and hold true to the idea that you're going to be there and be present for them in whatever way they need you to be, is more, you're already doing enough, I promise.
Yes, go!
Okay. I think one of the best things, like, because not for the first, I don't want to say it's the first time I heard the term at risk, but even hearing, like when Samara said it today in the van, we're going to perform for at risk. Well, because you're at risk. I was like, what does that mean? Like I didn't know I was at risk.
I didn't say you're at risk.
Okay, well.
You said, are we at risk?
I asked, are we at risk? I don't know. The phrase at risk, like placing the label on us, it kind of made me feel less.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
That's the purpose.
Right, I think that recently when I was on a webinar, we were talking to people from actually Santa Cruz, California, and someone used the word at risk, and they very quickly said, oh, we don't use that term.
Yeah.
We use the term at possible.
Yeah.
Which at possible, which didn't really roll off our tongues comfortably. But I don't want you to think that we're using it in a discriminatory manner.
Yeah.
We're using it to sort of define the community that we live in. We live in a community where everybody in this community has issues because we have so much violence, because we have such a loss of resources, because we don't have enough housing, because we have people living in motels because we can't find enough shelters for them, because everybody doesn't go to sleep with a full stomach. That's what we view as at risk. It has nothing to do.
Okay, but I have to quickly add that I've been involved in education for a really, really long time, and I've worked with some students who come from very affluent families who are at risk because mom and dad says, here's $100, get lost. That child is just as much at risk as somebody who comes from a single parent family. I've seen a lot of kids who are living in poverty who are fantastic. Well, I mean, not that you're living in poverty, but you're fantastic what it is you do. But that whole at risk, that automatically, it's somebody who is living in poverty, single parent family, you know, whatever, all the other, you know,
I don't think there's a child in Fall River that we don't view as at risk.
It's rich kids, it's
because
poor
of the
kids,
way
it's
we
single
live.
parent families, it's the typical one, you know, parents and 2 parents and 2.5 children, it's everybody. It's everybody, just because of the society in which they live.
They're just our kids.
I just want to say, because I'll be mad at myself if I don't say this tonight, you guys did a very good job.
Yeah, amazing.
The struggle is real, and not many things move me, but that presentation did move me. Now, going back to you young lady, at risk. There are factors for being at risk. Where are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
I live in Jamaica, Queens.
Where? Jamaica.
In Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Boston. So at risk to me, for the way I understand it, there are liquor stores on every corner. There are junkies in the alley and all these other factors that get in your way as you try to be the best person you can be. Those things are risks to you. Those things are a risk to your father, your mother, and everybody that's involved with you. These are risk factors. A way of trying to steer you away from the risk factors. Prostitution, drugs, substance abuse, whatever you name it. Those are risks. Anything that stands in your way of being a productive individual in society is a risk. They just break up in different factors.
And I think I'd love to just name what I often find is the elephant in the room, which is that I think what's being sussed out here and cautioned around, which I love the way you phrased, I love the way that you spoke to that, and I think that resonates. I think often a mistake that people make is they assume that people of color are people who are at risk. And I think that that's something that as educators, there can be mindfulness around. Also, is not to be, and that's not an assumption that anyone here is doing that, it's just a general systemic assumption, right? So
I also think it happens with males more than females too.
Right. Yeah.
That it's not just people of color, but it's also we tend to look at men of color in a different way.
All our kids are at risk. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
All our
All our
kids
kids
are
are
at
at
risk.
risk.
And race does play a role into the privileges we walk with.
And I know that coming from, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn also, and when I came up here, it didn't even, Flatbush, thank you. And they still say I sound like a New Yorker, so but when I came up here, I assumed because it was a small place, because it looked different than the city than Flatbush. I assumed that there was wealth here. I assumed that everything was okay here. I assumed that the kind of risk factors that you were talking to only existed in the community where I came from, and that now I was moving to Massachusetts and it's on the water and it's this and that and the other thing. Well, that's not really true. Even in small communities like this, we have the same, we're a microcosm, we're a small version of what you have in Brooklyn.
I made that same assumption on the 5 minutes in here.
Right, that's right. So just to give you an idea, I think 90% of our kids qualify for free lunch and free breakfast in school. Okay, 37% of our population lives below the poverty line. So, you know, we have the same issues that you have, but we look differently.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you know, the kids from our school are coming tomorrow to your performance, and they're absolutely gonna love it. I can already tell. Like, I'm so excited for them to watch it.
But like, it's an alternative school, right? So our guys feel like the outcasts of the whole district, right? The label that you talked about was put on them. You're bad, you don't belong with the rest of the kids, you're ruining the rest of the schools. Whether that's the intention or not, or the message that's portrayed to them, that is what they've internalized. And so when I think about when you began the introduction of your cast around labels and the social issues and racial tension in our country right now, when I think about, you know, the at-risk piece, and I think that's just a hot topic, you know, you brought that up and I'm glad you did, because we use so many labels, and really that's what's gotten us into so many issues in our country, is because we put a label on somebody. We make assumptions. Whatever it is that we see, our own experience influences what we think about that person or our experiences. So, you know, for our kids, I feel like we're their only cheerleaders sometimes. Like, we're constantly trying to say, you need to change how people perceive you. And you can only do that through positive behavior, positive interaction, because people already assume something about you. And not all of our students are students of color. We have many white kids in our school, but they have that label. They walk around with the 3 letters on their shirt and everyone assumes bad because everybody knows that's the alternative school in our district. So even when I said we were going to this, they're like, do I qualify to go on a field trip? They're like, can you take me to something? I said, yeah, this is for everybody. We're all going, because I really feel like it's an emotional connection that they're going to make to the message. But also my hope is that it impacts them for sustainable change. They take something away from it. So.
Yeah, I actually, I just want to speak to that for a second. I'm actually a graduate of an alternative high school in New York. I went into high school in the year 2007, and I had gotten accepted into Murrow, Edward R. Murrow Theater Performing Arts School, and it was all wonderful and peachy, and everybody was jumping around. And then I got in there, and I became one of 4,000 numbers, which actually just gave me a number, and I became a number within the guidance counselor system. And through that process, I found it was very easy to go unnoticed and to go into stealth mode in those kind of schools and be able to just ditch out whenever you want to. And then made the decision to transfer to an alternative high school where there was 150 students throughout the entire school. And everyone was on a first name basis. And there was no hierarchy, and there wasn't this ideal of let's get let's herd the sheep that can make it and leave the ones that can't behind. And it became about what can I do to make my success rather than what can I do to make this school successful. And it was actually through my alternative high school that I met Samara, and I got into the program that I'm now a teaching artist for because I took that leap, because I just put my faith in this staff's hands, and they shepherded me the right way. And now that and especially going back to your question about what message to send, it's just knowing that the problem in society is that we like to complicate a lot of things, and we fault children for making things very simplified. But it's that simplification that makes things easier for them to get through life, that as we grow up, we just tend to forget how to do. And it happens within this company in itself. There's times where there's chaos going on within ourselves, and we come into rehearsal, and we just need to take a moment to simplify things for ourselves so that we can be able to, fully envelop ourselves in the work. But especially, to speak to that is just, especially with alternative high schools, you have to just let them live within their own power and show them that, we will help you, but at the same time, you can help yourself. And you can hold yourself within your own strengths, within your own talents, and be able to work your way up. And especially if they see those who have already succeeded within your program, it is important for those people to take the initiative to come back. Because I'm teaching in the alternative high school that I graduated from. And, yes, people do certain things just, for money and stuff like that. But I can wholeheartedly say that ever since I left school in 2011, I have asked every year, when can I come back? And their answer to me was, when everyone you went to school with graduates. So, that's that moment this year I got that chance, and that's the importance, is letting them live within their power.
So, I know it's pretty late, you guys have been on the road. Anybody have a last closing question? Okay, as I said, we have room tomorrow if you want to bring more kids. We have about 200. Go ahead. End it up for us. Go ahead.
I want to say everything that's being spoken about is labels. So to end it off, you're only at risk. For example, if you want to be at risk. If someone gives you a label and it says at risk, you're only at risk if you put that label on your shirt. Now you're at risk. Anything that anyone's calling you, white, black, you can be orange if you want. It doesn't matter. You're going to be what you want to be. You can do anything you want. You don't have to listen to what someone says or what someone labels you. That's it.
I think we should take that label and rip it up. I don't like it.
If any of you are, which I'm imagining for sure, a lot of you probably won't be able to come tomorrow, but if you want to stay in touch, although I think all my business cards are in something somewhere. Maybe
I have your connection.
Yeah, but if anyone wants to stay in touch or check out the books that we have all read from Jarvis's story or whatever, like we'll hang around here and we'd love to just chat or exchange information or share some of our stuff with you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.